Dear viewers, welcome to the show POWERchat, Nepal's only TV talk show in English discussing developments since 2016. Through this episode tonight, we are discussing about gender-based violence, especially violence against women and girls. And I'm joined tonight by Dr. Renu Adhikari, women rights activist, who is currently leading the National Alliance of Women Human Rights Defenders. Let's talk. Welcome to the show.
Thank
Dr.
you,
Adhikari.
Laxman D. Thank
How
you
have
so
you been?
much. I'm good. Yeah, trying to work and then be safe together, and it's quite difficult to manage.
Yeah. You have been into the field of women rights activism for a long time.
Yeah.
Founder chairperson of WAREC,
Yes.
Women's
Yeah.
Rehabilitation Center, and currently leading the National Alliance of Women Human Rights Defenders. How do you assess the initiatives in Nepal taking place to combat gender-based violence?
Yeah, thank you for this question. And then what I feel is it's a very difficult question to answer. Nevertheless, I will try. Because everyone has their own perspective, their own approach, and then their own intervention strategy. So my experience is already 30 years. My experience says that we have walked long way, but we need to walk even longer. The reason why I'm saying this is when I started my work, I'm a medical doctor, you know that, right? So I started my work out of my passion, out of my, commitment to make the difference. Then it was I started my work from the anti-trafficking initiative, and then working on anti-trafficking initiative, I realized that this is only one of the outcome, of larger violence against women. So we started to focus on violence against women. Then nobody was ready to listen. Nobody was ready to even believe us. But now in last 30 years, people are talking, believing that there is the violence against women. There are gender-based violence issues, trusting us to some extent, but not practicing at all, what is being asked and what is being done. So that's why I told that, there is visibility of the issue. There are more reporting, definitely yes, because there are different NGO initiatives are there at the community, which are, and government initiative is also there, which has created some kind of support mechanism. And because of that, women dare to speak now. But again, when it comes to the law enforcement or in a real sense support, then there is not available, and then they are forced to withdraw. So this is very tricky. That's why I told them.
So you are trying to say that there is no implementation of the laws and policies?
It's not blanket, I will say that there is no implementation up to the level what is required. Now it's not. There is a system. There are laws, to be very honest, very positive laws are there, very positive provisions in our constitution. Our constitution is quite progressive, so all those things are there. But the mindset, it depends upon, access to justice. Now it's very much, I always say that it depends on the mercy of the person who is dealing, this structure law remains beside. And then the whole person who is dealing with that, his mindset comes in front. That's why I will not say that there is no mechanism. There is mechanism, but there is very difficult implementation, challenged implementation situation, to be very correct.
How do you assess the key challenges here in Nepal in relations to combating violence, especially that is against women and girls?
Our main key challenge is this is a structural issue, and then we are trying to look from the superficial level, from the periphery. Yeah? Violence against women, if you remember, I'm sure you remember, I wanted to take you back, if you look at the declaration, UN Declaration on Violence Against Women, even that very clearly stresses and then says that, violence against women is something which comes out because of unequal power relation between man and woman. And this unequal power relation is not because of that man or that particular woman. that has been built so nicely in our structure, in the way how we behave, how we talk, how we do, what kind of marriage ceremonies we have. So this is whole thing is very much deeply ingrained within the system, and we are not touching that, we are trying to, and that is political issue, and that will destroy a lot of structures. That requires destruction of the lot of structures. So we dare not, we try not to touch that one. And that is a real challenge. I will say that is real challenge.
Well, there are reports and criticism over, implementation of the existing laws as well. 2 years back, the UN Special Rapporteur on violence against women visited Nepal and, recommended to Nepal to stick to the, implementation of the existing law. And what you have to say to the international activism here in Nepal? Every year, annually, there is an international campaign called 16 Days of Activism that starts on 26th of November 25th. And runs until 10th of December. Are you happy the way, this campaign is being marked here in Nepal?
Again, you are asking me a very difficult question to answer within a couple of minutes, right? See, in a way, this 16 Days of Activism has brought out a lot of positive changes, let me say like this, because there was a time when there was, when I started to say that, okay, there was no recognition among various actors that violence against women is an issue, So 16 Days of Activism, together with our political change, I will add, I will not give all the credit to 16 Days Activism alone, because political willpower and political change is one of the very key thing, in order to address violence. So both of these things coupled together could sensitize people, bring the issues out, made women feel that, okay, if we speak, then there are people, there are structure responsive to us, right? So that has served its very nice purpose. But now what I feel, now in Nepal at least, what I started to see is becoming more rituals, rather than really digging and then going deeper. I sometimes feel in Nepal we have festivals like Dasai Tihar. So I say that, okay, 16 Days of Activism is also becoming like a Dasai Tihar, even for the activists like me, I have to speak now it's even good that virtually we are speaking 4 programs per day. And what kind of impact that will bring? That is a lot of question in my mind. So that's why even National Alliance of Women Human Rights Defenders, Laxman D, this year we changed our even theme. We are taking international, we are taking national, but at the same time what we are saying that Samajik Rupantaranma Lagani, Mahila Hingsa Antiko Bihane means invest in social transformation, then there will be new morning for the violence against women, because the required thing is changing structure, we are not reaching there. To answer your question, I'm just going back a little bit. What you told that, okay, the legal implementation is not happening. Not happening. But again, I will say the same thing. It's not because we don't have proper law. This is because we don't have proper mindset of the people who are implementers. So no matter what kind of law you will bring, if the person who is implementing thinks that, okay, violence against women is something not to be taken seriously, then how that is going to be implemented? That same thing applies within the judiciary, there are number of cases, where judiciary went against, and then according to the law, we as an activist, we cannot go against judiciary, So this mindset. Third thing, like even people who wrote the constitution, who wrote the constitution at the legal political power, who are running the government, who are the opposition, whether they have the correct mindset to end violence against women, I doubt. The reason I will give you again, other things, I am not going in other things, I am going on structured things. What happened? Why these political parties, ruling parties, are not even thinking about violence during conflict, sexual violence during the conflict? From there the impunity starts. When big fish are not caught, then small people will not be taken seriously. So that's why I think that this is a continuum of our impunity, continuum of kind of looking women from different perspective, I mean from the subordinated position. So this is something much more than what we see, what we hear, and then what we visualize on violence against women. It's a deeper and deeper challenges are there. Yeah.
You also agreed on the fact that impunity is widespread in relation to addressing the cases against the violence against women and girls here in Nepal. How do you assess the role of constitutional bodies like National Human Rights Commission or Women Commission?
Where is the Women Commission? This is first a constitution made Women's Commission constitutional. After that became constitutional. There is this political parties decided not to form even Women Commission. There are no commissioners. There are staffs and limited work is being done by staff. I need to give that credit as well. But constitutional body means that which directs government, which really can hold government accountable for not doing the thing.
Why is commission vacant for so long time? Do you agree that the advocacy on part of you, I mean the activists, were not so powerful so that politicians or the state actors unable to appoint the commission?
Advocacy, only we have to break our heads, otherwise everything has been done. We don't want to break our heads, so let's say. Because this whole political structure, really the government is like a stone. So how long we will keep banging our head on those stones, right? This is simply, again, I will say that our political parties, they don't even think that appointing commissioner in Women's Commission is needed. Look the way how ministries are being formed. 33% women is required according to the constitution. Where are 33% women ministers? So all those things comes together. Similarly for the National Human Rights Commission, National Human Rights Commission, if you start appointing National or Women Commission, appointing people according to your political preferences, what kind of justice you are looking for? What kind of directive to the government these commissioners can give? National Human Rights Commissions, almost after they just everyone got retired, they came out with, at last, I will say that, thank you, at last they came out with a very genuine report. They brought out a couple of names, of the perpetrators and another. But now, again vacant, who is going to take that forward? Again that will go. This is a vicious cycle, I will say that, and my whole thing will be, my whole, my view is that is not because of something law or something. This is totally mindset which says that yes, we are the ruler and we want to rule as we want to rule, no one should disturb us, what about constitutional body? That this constitutional bodies has been formed in order to show international community, but here there is no even support mechanism. There is a constitutional body, our constitutional bodies, what I see is these are the tigers without teeth.
Well, how do you see the role of United Nations here in Nepal?
I don't see a role of United Nations anywhere in the world, by there are suggestions, there are multilateral partners, bilateral partners, there are UN here, they can suggest, they cannot really push. So that's what they are suggesting, they are investing money, but whether that is bringing desired fruits or not, that needs to be taken very seriously.
Well, Dr. Adhikari, reports show that there was increase in the cases, violence against women and girls, especially that of the sexual assault, domestic violence, rape and all. Do you think that these incidents have not been properly addressed just because of the absence of rule of law and impunity kind of thing, or there is some other things that need to be done by the stakeholders here in Nepal?
That increase, and that is in continuum, that is increasing, right? And there is response also. A lot of money has been spent within this period also in order to respond. A lot of UN mechanisms are also, UN agency, I will not say that everyone is doing nothing, like there are efforts definitely. But the response again is not up to the desired level. The reason is not having enough support mechanism. One, violence against women, and then activities being done towards to end violence against women was not within kind of prioritized services. Kind of we told our government. I am one of the member of expert committee member within Women Ministry as well, right? We told several times, let's make essential services, bring its essential services, because even myself, I faced the issue. When it was lockdown, there was case reported, and I couldn't take my car even to go there and to respond, kind of. So it was in Kathmandu. I had a car, I had a driver, but I couldn't do that one. And same thing all over, kind of there were community organizations, there were people who were ready to help, support, but because within the lockdown, since they were not allowed to go anywhere, and that also resulted negatively. And second thing, like, okay, that, right, our judicial committee now, actually, this is again our outcome of our long-term activism. We wanted some kind of support mechanism, legal support mechanism, other support mechanism created at the political level, right, at the local level. And that has been created within like judicial committees, form of judicial committees. And coordinators of judicial committees are deputy mayor. But whole palikas were shut down. Where these women should go and then report, and who will support them? After a lot of advocacy, a lot of, again, banging our head, something started, but not much. So, to be direct to your question, kind of, sometimes I feel that we Nepalese, we go round, we don't come into the direct answer. So, to be direct in your question, I think, like, again, I will say that, again, the way how we look women and women issue was the main cause for not being violence against women.
What are the key lapses at this, time?
No support mechanism, one. Not understanding of violence against women as one of the issue for the development, and then as a national issue, let's say that. Violence against women is not only women's issue. This is a real issue which affects development, which affects human rights, which affects everything. There is no understanding. That is being taken only as a women issue. Third thing, there is no proper implementation effort, I will say, efforts, and even to some extent mechanism as well, right? And the fourth, support which is being offered by the government is much more, government and NGOs, even international agencies, even UN agencies, I will say, is much more less than what is required. Kind of government safe houses say that, okay, they can stay only for the 3 months. One woman, I am working on violence against women for last 30 years, but I feel at least 1 year she needs to be at some place in order to get, even to say that, okay, I am a human being now, So kind of this support is also late. And there was another big thing, there was, now why I said was, now it's picking up, there was no recognition of mental health issue, there is no recognition of self-esteem, which gets affected in this kind of pandemic period. So, and that also made women to shut down also, kind of their self-esteem became really low. And then family members were in the family, work burden was high, and there was no support mechanism. So because of all these three things working together, a lot of withdrawal also took place.
Well, yeah. Dr. Adhikari, there are many interesting issues you are sharing with us, but we are coming to the end of the show. Very quickly, if you want to share anything that I have left to ask you, very quickly.
Not much, Laxman D, but one thing what I will say that, okay, we need to start looking violence against women really differently, deeply, and as a structural issue. That I really want to emphasize and then end by saying that.
Well, thank you very much for joining the show. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. Same here. Thank you for giving me the space.
Dear viewers, time now to wrap up the show. Keep watching us. See you next week. Namaste.